And even though he was here illegally, or shall I say is here illegally, even though that in itself is illegal, there was still nothing to hold this dude. And so they let him walk away, even though he hit a body for 7 weeks. It's just, America. Hey guys, this is Jules with True Crime Reactions. Disclaimer, everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. The missing case of Megan Bos turned into a homicide investigation pretty quickly after we started talking about it here on this channel. Now, I don't think that us talking about it had anything to do with it. Our videos here haven't really gotten all that much reach, unfortunately. Cases that are not big, huge in the headlines, like the Gabby Petito case, the Madeline Soto case, the Idaho 4 case, they don't really get a lot of exposure. So I don't know if people talking about it online actually prompted the police to actually do something or not. I do know that they knew, because of her phone information, that her and the man that has been arrested and charged with not her murder, but a plethora of other things, had been the last person that she had contacted. So it's not like they didn't have their eyes on this guy from early on. And it's just disgusting that he had been allowed to just throw her body in a trash can for 7 weeks and got to just walk away, just got to walk out, come back to court later. Yeah, right. Most of you guys know that I was MIA for a few days over this past weekend. My birthday was Friday, and then it was Easter weekend. A lot of people were busy, family time, all of the things. So now we are catching up. Megan's mom, Jennifer, wrote me a letter update back on April the 18th. I didn't actually see it until like Sunday, or maybe it was Monday. And we've been trying to catch up in the Idaho case. So now we're going to pause for a second on that one and do an update here because it's very much needed. Now, I am going to read the letter that was written to me by Miss Jennifer, and then I'm going to show you guys a news clip because one of the news stations actually interviewed Jennifer a few days ago, and I saw that the interview clip actually posted. Today is Saturday. I think it actually posted on Thursday. By the time I saw it, when I searched Megan's name on Google, the video was about 14 hours or so old, and that was yesterday. So I'm glad that mainstream is talking about it again because she had been reported missing, and there was maybe like 7 little bitty articles or like news reports about a missing woman in Illinois, and then that was it. Everything just went quiet. So I'm glad it's picking up again, but it's disgusting that it took the story being as horrible as it is to start getting people's attention. But hey, now we have somebody political involved, so it might actually go somewhere. Now again, Megan's mom, Jennifer, wrote this to me on April 18th, which has been 8 days or so ago. And again, I'm sorry for the late update, but we're going to get to it now and wrap up at the end of this with all of the final updates, including what's going on today, April 26th. There has been much talk and speculation surrounding the disappearance and subsequent discovery of our daughter, Megan Bos. I would like to share the events as I know them to clear up some things I am seeing and hearing. Megan has indeed struggled with addiction and depression for several years. About 6 months after her daughter was born, she went to rehab. She quit drinking and attended AA pretty regularly. She has not had alcohol since. Her brother Brian passed a year later. She really spiraled into depression and drug use. The last 5 years have been very hard trying to help her and pull her back. In October, she was arrested for an old warrant. She was held in jail until December of 2024 when she entered rehab again. It was a different program than before, a strong program. Even though it was court ordered, she was finally ready for a change. I visited her every weekend. She was happy and healthy, and all she could talk about were the plans she was making for the future and being a mom to her daughter. I hadn't seen her like this in many years. She was very proud to have earned her 5-year coin from AA. That's a huge accomplishment. And now she had been clean from drugs for about 4 months. That had to be really hard. She had already made arrangements to go right into sober living when she completed her program. This is where the system failed her. However, despite plenty of notice, her legal representative did not get her released by the court prior to her program end date. She was sent back to jail until she could see the judge instead of going directly into sober living. So basically put back on some sort of punishment for something that didn't have anything to do with her. While she was in jail, she was not allowed to have her mental health medication or the Suboxone she had been on. Of course not, because they don't care about anybody in there. When she was finally released from jail without her medication to take, she relapsed. She messaged me about 10 days later and apologized for screwing up. She next called me on February 17th on a number I didn't recognize, but right after she said, "Hey mom, it's Megan," she said she would go and would call me back, but she never did. I did not know that was the last time I would hear her voice. I messaged her on February 19th to let her know we loved her. We were so proud of her for working hard to get clean, and although she may have slipped, fuck man. This is so stupid. I can't stand any of this, and I can't stand that the family is just like watching this guy who threw their daughter away in the trash can just slap on the wrist, come back later. This is just making me so upset. I just turned 37. Megan was 37. And it's just really sad to see. It's just really sad to see other people's lives. It makes you grateful for a lot of things, but it really makes you think about a lot of things too. She had a lot of support waiting for her from friends and family. This was the last message from me that she read. When I hadn't gotten any response from her for messages or phone calls for a week, I thought maybe she was ashamed and avoiding us. On February 26th, March 3rd, and March 8th, I posted on her Facebook looking for a response. Finally, a friend reached out to me and said many of her friends had been looking for her too. That's when I got really scared, and on March 9th, 2025, I reported her missing. It's been a frantic search for her ever since. As has been previously reported, on the night of February 19th, 2025, Megan was with two friends at the Grand Tequila Bar in Waukegan. She had asked them for a ride. One friend had gone into the bar. The other was in the car with Megan, but he was having trouble with the battery and the car wouldn't start. I do not know how long they were in the parking lot, but we know she was there when she sent a text message at 9:37 p.m. to another friend she had previously made plans to stay that night with, confirming she would be back later. The friend who was in the car with her told me she either made or received a phone call. Then Megan told him she would be back and walked away from the parking lot. The two friends stayed at the bar to gamble at the machines while they were waiting to get the car jumped. Megan sent a text message at 10:57 p.m. saying she was about to be OMW back, on my way back. So 9:30 something, where's the time? So at 9:37, she was still in the parking lot with the other two friends, and she sent a text to another friend that she was supposed to be with that night, saying that she would be back to that person's house later, and then took off. And at 10:57 is whenever the friends got a message saying that she was on her way back. But we have to remember the details here is that he's admitted to breaking her phone and throwing it in the trash. And a lot of people are under the assumption it's not her that actually sent this text, that it was him. That was the last time anyone heard from her. So 10:57 p.m. was her last communication with anyone. Later in the investigation, detectives were able to see in Megan's phone records that there were no outgoing text messages or calls after that 10:57 message. We now know she walked from the parking lot 0.1 mile to Mr. Jose Mendoza Gonzalez's home and subsequently never left. Yeah, he literally lived like right there at the bar. As we were looking on Google Maps in the area, I'm pretty positive his house popped on there a few times. Please remember, without a witness or other evidence, I can't confirm the details of the events as they were reported to police by Mr. Jose Mendoza Gonzalez, but these are his actions he has confessed to. I do believe there are lies, but the only other person who was there is not here to speak to the events of that night. According to what Jose Mendoza Gonzalez had told law enforcement, he does not own the home. He was renting a room there, as were the other residents in the house. Remember, he's also here illegally. And even though he was here illegally, or shall I say is here illegally, even though that in itself is illegal, there was still nothing to hold this dude. And so they let him walk away, even though he hit a body for 7 weeks. It's just, America. I do not know who called who to arrange for Megan to come over. The police should know that by now from having her phone, but we need to remember that she's most likely stating that because the friend that was with Megan said they don't remember if she made a call or got a call, but the phone would show that. Jose Mendoza Gonzalez claims Megan asked him if she could hang out, arriving at his house around 10 p.m. and was only there for about 30 minutes. Don't forget, Megan sent a text at 10:57 and was ready to go back to her friends at the bar. So if she was there for only 30 minutes, that still doesn't make sense because that's an hour almost after she got there. So that pretty much validates more to me that it was him and that he broke the phone. So if you can OMW and abbreviate with English verbiage, why are you needing a translator to talk to the interviewer with the police? It's because you're freaking lying and you know it. Jose Mendoza Gonzalez stated that he and Megan were in the basement. He claimed he noticed water coming from the ceiling and went upstairs to check on it. He claims Megan was snorting an unknown white substance when he left her there. He claimed he was only gone upstairs for 5 minutes, and when he returned, he found her deceased. It's not unknown, bro. You probably gave it to her. Quit fucking lying. He admitted that he did not try to help her or call 911. That's literally illegal in itself. He told the police he was scared and didn't know what to do, so he wrapped her in a blanket and just kept her in the basement for a few days. But there's other people living in that house, and you felt safe enough to just leave her in the house? He tipped the garbage can on its side and put wood behind the wheels so it wouldn't slide and then put her inside. Oh, so he knew how to leverage the weight? Sounds like you've done this before, Mr. Sir. Then he admits he pulled the garbage can with her in it up the stairs and put her by the garage. The garbage can did not have a lid, so he covered it with a carpet. This is where my daughter Megan remained for 51 days until she was discovered April 10th of 2025. I need someone to explain to me how no one smelled anything. There's no sealing of a lid. There's no lid at all, just a carpet over a trash can, and no one smelled anything? That doesn't make any sense. He claimed she had nothing else with her except the phone, which he admitted he had smashed and took it to work with him to throw it away. Wow. We do know that Megan had a large bag/purse with her when she left the parking lot, and she usually carried Narcan with her. Well, at least she was self-aware. Let's put it that way. Meaning he's also lying because her bag is somewhere. So where'd he put her bag? At work too, like the phone? Where is it? I was recently informed there was a large amount of liquid in the container that smelled of bleach and damage to her clothing. I guess that would sort of explain why no one smelled anything. To explain this, he said he used bleach in the garbage can regularly to keep raccoons from the garbage. I'm sorry, but if there's damage on her clothes up towards the top of the can, that means he poured it on her. So raccoons, my fat ass. Jose Mendoza Gonzalez had his first court appearance on Saturday, April 12th, with Judge Randy Bruno presiding. Judge Bruno had authorized the search warrant in the case and in court said the offense was very serious. Yeah, but they let him walk the frick out. He was charged and detained Friday evening, but because of the state of Illinois SAFET Act, he was released without bail Saturday morning. He didn't even spend a whole freaking 24 hours in that damn thing for what he did. For hiding her, pouring bleach on her, lying, hiding evidence, throwing away a phone, breaking the phone, who knows what with the purse. Man, his charges are not considered a violent crime. So it's been barely a speed bump for him. He is back to work, living his life, spending time with friends and family, just like he did while keeping our daughter's body in a trash can by his garage for 7 weeks. He admitted to the police that he hid inside his house like a coward on March 25th. Wow. So she wrote me this on my birthday, and this happened on my son's. Jesus Christ. Like a coward on March 25th when one of Megan's friends knocked on his door looking for her, and I waited on the street. See, I told you guys this, that her mother walked past this house where her daughter was, and he just, like it was nothing. Jose Mendoza Gonzalez watched our search unfold for several weeks. He had to have seen her face everywhere on the flyers that were posted on the streets and in businesses all around him. Just 5 days before she was found, volunteers went door to door with flyers asking residents to look for security camera footage. He was either handed a flyer, had it put on his door handle, or taped to his mailbox. We were in the neighborhood for several hours that day. I was right around the corner in the parking lot passing out flyers and snacks. It is crushing to know that I had been within 100 feet of her at least 3 times. Oh my God, that makes me sick. That makes me so sick. He undoubtedly saw the post on social media of us begging to know where she was and the news reports about her disappearance. He let us suffer for nearly 2 months not knowing what had become of her. Jose Mendoza Gonzalez had the power all along to give her the respect she deserved in death, of being laid to rest in dignity, and to show us compassion of having lost our daughter. He's a monster. I don't give a shit. I don't give a damn. F this dude. I have recently learned that Megan has known Jose Mendoza Gonzalez for at least 2 years, maybe more, which to me makes his horrific acts even worse if that is possible, meaning they were friends. And if he was just dealing to her, which is just an assumption, okay, I'm just assuming, even if he was dealing to her, it's still somebody that he knew for 2 years. And he gave no shits. None. Who could do such a thing to a friend? At the time of his confession, he stated that he knew he would never see his wife and kids again. Okay, well, if he's here renting a room in a house and he doesn't live with his wife and kids because he left them in Mexico, then you pretty much did that to yourself when you stepped over that borderline illegally, sir. I would think that he would get many years in prison after what he did to my daughter. His charges, 4 Class 4 felonies, might result in a sentence of 1 to 3 years. That's all he is facing. For destroying a phone, taking it to a different location to hide evidence, for leaving her body, not rendering aid, for hiding her body, trying to destroy evidence by putting bleach on her body. Her purse is magically missing, and this is where it's at. Your government doesn't give a damn about you. They are putting the rights and the well-being of this illegal alien that does not even belong here over the rights of someone else. That's an actual American citizen. It's gross. Jose Mendoza Gonzalez is in this country illegally, and as such poses a greater flight risk. Damn straight he does. Prosecutors in the case requested that a monitoring device be used, but Judge Bruno refused. She released Jose Mendoza Gonzalez from custody after the hearing without bail. Remember the story out of New York? Those 4 people that killed those other people and chopped their bodies up and put them all everywhere, including like trying to dispose of them down the garbage disposal. You know, the one that breaks up your food before it goes down the drain. Yeah. They actually had monitors put on them. Their lawyer came in and threw a fit saying it was violating their constitutional rights because at that point in time, they weren't technically being charged with anything, and they let them run out. I honestly need to get an update on that case because I have no idea what happened to those sadistic freaks. In the name of equity, Jose Mendoza Gonzalez gets to be free while he goes through many months of court proceedings. He will get to live his life, tell whatever story he is going to tell, say whatever he wants to about Megan, and that is all we have because 7 weeks have gone by. 7 weeks he has had to remove any trace of her from the house. 7 weeks he has had to think about what to say. 7 weeks he has had her stuffed in a garbage can, pouring bleach in with her and leaving her in his backyard to slowly disappear forever. I would like Governor Pritzker, I think that's how you say this person's name, to tell me where in the SAFET Act is there justice for Megan. We have many questions as to what happened that night to cause her death. We will never know if her death could have been prevented because Jose Mendoza Gonzalez did not bother to try and help her. Yeah, he literally admitted he didn't even bother to check a pulse or anything. She might not have even been dead whenever he saw her. She might have just been passed out. He could have saved her life. I am forever left to wonder, was she truly already gone, or was she breathing so shallow he just thought she had died? We don't know. We likely will never know. Now, this is what's happening today. I'm recording this at 3:45 p.m. Texas time. By the time it gets posted, this might be going on or might be over already, but this is happening today. There is a vigil being planned in Megan's honor on April 26, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. in the parking lot of the Supermercado Grocery at 1412 Grant Avenue in Waukegan, next to the house where she was found. A protest against Jose Mendoza Gonzalez's release and the Illinois SAFET Act is being planned. These events will be posted to my Facebook page and on the Where is Megan Bos? Justice for Megan Bos Facebook page. Okay, I'll have a link for the Facebook page down in the description box. Now let's watch Jennifer, Megan's mother's interview on national news together. Okay, so this is Fox 32, and again, this is Megan's mom, Jennifer.
It's all I get back from her. It's her jewelry. I didn't get to see her. It's all they could give me.
In Jennifer Bos's hands are the last pieces of her daughter, sealed in evidence envelopes, a bracelet, a ring, a few small tokens of a life cut short. But even with those, it's still not enough answers, not enough justice for a mother left shattered.
There are no words to help me understand how a person can do this to another human being and walk out of court the next day like you got a traffic ticket.
37-year-old Megan Bos spoke with her mom in February. That would be the last time they'd speak. A manhunt went on from February until this day, April 10th. This blue tarp marked the heartbreaking end of a weeks-long search. It's where Megan Bos's body was found, hidden in a container behind a Waukegan home. For 7 weeks, she lay there while Antioch and Waukegan police scoured the area. Detectives eventually traced Megan's last phone signal to this neighborhood when they questioned Jose Luis Mendoza Gonzalez, a man known to have frequent contact with her. He's
frequent contact. So yeah, they were either actually friends or they were in contact for other reasons. But regardless, she wasn't some stranger. People are so broken.
Said she overdosed in his home in mid-February. But instead of calling for help, he broke her phone, left her body in his basement for days, and then moved her to a container outside where she remained undiscovered for nearly 2 months. The 52-year-old is now charged with 2 counts of concealment of a death, abuse of a corpse, and obstructing justice. But despite those charges, he is not in custody, and now calls for justice are growing louder.
As Jose Mendoza Gonzalez, a Mexican national that resided there and worked at this business.
This is Tom Weber. Jennifer told me that he had reached out to her. He's very upset with the situation.
At first, he said that, yes, he knew her and she was at his house, but only for a brief time. As officers continued to question and pressured, asking if she was still alive, he said he did not want to be arrested at work.
Tom Weber represents the 64th district where the Bos family lives. During session just hours ago, he questioned the SAFET Act and if it's working.
Someone that hid their body in a garbage can for 51 days. Is this a non-detainable offense? Should we not find out, wait for a toxicology report, anything?
Even if the toxicology does come back showing there was something taken, Megan did take some sort of substance, I don't give a damn. You didn't even bother to check to see if she was alive. You broke her phone. You took her to a different location to hide it. You left her body where it laid for days and days and then decided to wrap her up and went through all of this elaborate shit to hide her body behind your house. How is none of that a reason to keep somebody in jail? That tells me exactly what that person is capable of and that they have no conscience. They're a danger to society. That type of human is a danger to society.
Especially with someone that is a citizen of a foreign country.
Family and friends are preparing to lay Megan to rest, but says they don't have any peace.
Where we centralized most of the searches was within 200 feet of where she was the entire time. His door was knocked on multiple times. Like, it's gut-wrenching. It's nauseating to think the whole entire time she was just there. And he didn't give a care in the world.
She was just there while her friends, her family, her mother walked by that house and probably looked back there towards that garage. How many times? Oof.
And says the fight for Megan Bos is just getting started.
We want to make sure that we can speak out on behalf of her for other people that may go through something like this or that already have and want to help us join in the fight to stop criminals from walking like this.
For now, all Megan's mother has are a few belongings and the smile of her daughter that now lives on in the little girl Megan left behind, a child who will grow up without her mother.
And I thought all the whole time that I was searching for her, all I could think of was being able to hug her. I just wanted to put my arms around her. Never let her go.
So I just checked Facebook and her memorial service was around noon today, April 26th. Hopefully there was no press and they abided by what the family was wishing, because in the notice for the memorial service, it literally said No press, please. You had to be a friend, a proven family member in order to get a link to the live streaming of the memorial service. Hopefully all of that went well. I have no idea. I sent her mom a message telling her that I was getting the update together, and I really hope that everyone just abides by this family's wishes. I hope that something else comes out of this. Rachel Morin's family would be a really huge support system to Megan's family right now. And even Lake and Riley's family. I mean, there's so many families that have been affected by the way that our American justice system handles these illegal immigrants and the things that keep happening whenever they get in trouble for something. How a lot of them just get like slaps on the wrist. They get to just run out and run free. No one seems to really care about the damage that's being caused here. And it's a huge, huge issue. You do not get to just walk away and live your life like the model citizen after not checking on the person, taking their phone, breaking it, taking it to a different location to get rid of it, not telling the truth about where her actual personal belongings are, meaning her purse, her wallet, everything that was in that purse. You don't get to just put a body in a garbage can for 7 weeks and dump bleach all over it and then get to just walk free like you did nothing. How is that where we are in the American justice system? Some of you might not like the president. I'm very aware of that. But this is the kind of stuff right here that he stands against. And if you can sit here and say that you care about victims, but then think that we're the bad guys for having a problem with this situation, who are you really here for? Think about that. I'll be keeping Megan's family in my thoughts all day. I know today has to be just horrible for them. Probably one of the worst days since finding her is happening right now. So please keep everyone in your thoughts when it comes to this situation, especially Megan's daughter. I want to know how you guys feel about this case down in the comments. If you like the way that I present this information and give my opinion, please don't forget to leave a like on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. And please don't forget to make sure that that notification bell is set to all so you don't miss any of my rants, reviews, reactions, updates, or deep dives. See y'all.